Hello everyone, I am Maria Simeone and this is part 2 of restorative breathing where we focus on strengthening the lungs and the immune system. Get yourself comfortable. Preferably we're going to do this without shoes today, and you are going to either sit in a chair, lie down on the floor, standing. If you're lying on the floor, just make sure that your feet are standing and your knees are bent. And let's begin. So if you're in a chair, just come a little towards the edge so that your shoulders and your hips can be stacked and that belly can be released. And if you want to check out about belly breathing, look at part 1 of this series. We're going to now do a rib and pelvic rock. We need this kind of freedom and flexibility in order to gain strength. So let's take our hand like so and tuck it right under our arm, the other one hugging our other arm, and I'm using gravity and my feet are kneading into the floor just like a cat would knead its paws. So you're going to knead into the floor and let that yielding into gravity be what rocks the pelvis and rocks the rib cage, and then the head and the neck just follow. So you breathe from your belly, nice and gentle. Yield into gravity with your feet as you need. And we're going slowly, minimizing the effort, really visualizing all 12 ribs all the way around and those muscles in between, just letting go. And when we slow down, we soften our effort, we minimize our effort. Then we can become aware of tensions that are maybe in there, in our ribs, in our intercostal muscles are called. And we can, right before we feel that little bit of tension, just release that, breathe into it. We're not forcing or pushing or stretching anything, because that only creates more tension. So you're respecting that. Those tensions were there for a reason. But you don't need that anymore, so we're going to slow it down so that we can create new habits of freedom and flexibility. And just imagine that your breath is melting those tensions and any muscular constriction as you rock away. And now we can take it a little bit faster. It's very gentle, but I'm moving, creating this movement from my feet as I yield into gravity. And then let's switch our arms and go into that nice, slow, rocking, gentle movement. And using our imagination as we envision our entire rib cage, front, side, back, top, bottom, just giving into the earth, yielding as we breathe. Okay. And you can do this with your head still, and just focused in the front, or letting your head follow. Or if you're really daring, you can have your head and your neck gently moving in opposite directions. So those are a few ways you can do that. So now, as we're loosened up, let's strengthen our lung capacity by breathing up the spine from the tail, up like one vertebrae at a time. And when we get towards the top, which the top of our spine is right about there, we're going to flip our hands and we're using our voice with a sound to imagine that we are vibrating and strengthening and stimulating the upper part of the chest and the lungs. So it would be and you'll feel that vibration. So an or a z or a n from an n, those are all very high overtone frequency sounds that we can use in a relaxed throat to facilitate beautiful stimulation and get all this woken up here, because this is where we tend to get very tight, especially if we're locked in our belly and we have to resort to what we call shallow or clavicle breathing. And that is not our best line of defense because that triggers fight or flight response. We really want an expansive breath, a loose belly to put us into a beautiful state of social and emotional connection. So let's bring that breath up through the spine. Your feet are nice and planted as we go up. Let that belly expand and bring it down. Rest for a moment. Let's come back up. Breathing up the spine. Let the belly expand. Let's do this one more time. Coming up. And rest. If you have a difficult time kind of locating where those belly muscles are in order to release them, make sure you check out part 1. We go into some detail with that. But you can also do a gentle little cough and really feel where that is. And just let that belly come out. So now let's use imagery, color. Let's get creative and playful with this next one where we really expand our lung capacity, tapping into the different lobes of the right and left lungs. So our right lung has 3 lobes and the left has 2. So when we inhale, I want you to think all the way around, multidimensionally, that you're inhaling and inflating each lobe. And as you do that, they light up with a different color so that your lung is like lighting up like a Christmas tree as you inhale. And then as you exhale, they can remain colorful, or maybe the colors dim, or maybe the lights go out altogether, or something else. Get playful with it, have fun, try all different things, because when we're in a playful state, that is amazing for our immune system. So that's also a very complex cognitive activity. Play is wonderful. So let's breathe in through that right lung, the 3 lobes, each with a different color, and then we'll move to the left lung. Okay, so here we go. Let's move over to the left lung and the 2 lobes, same process. Imagine them all the way around, okay? And pause. You notice I use touch to guide my breathing. That's just a wonderful feedback mechanism that is at your disposal, and it helps you become present and more focused. So it's an option, but not something that you have to do. But it's especially helpful when we're playing with a lot of imagery. So now let's go back and forth between right and left lung. We're going to inhale through the 3 lobes of the right, exhale, and then go over to the left side. Okay, here we go. And over to the left. And you can go back and forth and play with all different combinations. Maybe inhale, exhale just from the upper lobe right, upper lobe left, lower two, lower left. There's so many things. So just play with all the different options because that's good for your brain. It loves repetition with novelty, and it'll just continue you on this journey of strengthening your lungs and your immune system. So let's end with a little, maybe you call it a meditation or a cool down, holding an intention of what the most predominant emotional quality is of our lungs. And that really predominant quality is inspiration. So you think of the word inspiration, inspire, to bring in air, to open your lungs to some beautiful, inspiring thought, inkling, whatever comes to you. But as we're breathing, I'd like you to hold an image or a color, or maybe the word itself, inspiration, whatever it is for you. Hold that intention, because when we're inspired, there's absolutely nothing we can't do. It is the most wonderful motivator that's out there. So we're going to breathe just however you choose, holding this beautiful emotional intention of being inspired. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this helpful, and be sure you check out the first part of this two-part series if you haven't already. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you'd like more inspiring ideas, thoughts, tools on how you can use music, movement, sound to be inspired and come into wonderful social and emotional connection with yourself and others, please check out my website at www.musicmovesthebrain.com. I'm Maria Simeone. Thank you for joining me.